You're listening to MRP, the Metal Robot Podcast.
Do you have any bands or artists that you know are capable of writing and performing like professionals and good musicians, but just don't? I mean, that's kind of what it's like for me and a little-known band called In Flames. After their 13th album, I the Mask, I had basically sworn off of talking about these guys. I didn't think there was a reason to, honestly. They felt like the well had run dry with them. They had closed up shop on the House of Ideas. We said sayonara to the boat of distinction. They had sailed off into the waters of mediocrity, and mediocrity took them and spat them back out for being too bland for them. They got boring and soul-crushing at the exact same time. But they're also a group with a history of great Swedish heavy metal, and it's not like they got where they are right now for sucking more than a porn star-themed vacuum, designed by Steel Panther. So I figured, what the hell, let's check out when they were good, just for shits and giggles, as it was also requested. So today, we're taking a look at their 10th album, Sounds of a Playground Fading, off of 2011. A good place to go, I think. It's not classic In Flames, which, let's be real here, might have been a lot better, but it's also not so recent as to show the cold sores. It's sort of the Goldilocks period of the group. Perfect candidate to be a potential essential listen, right? No, I'm sorry. Look, I tried. I really did. Here's the thing, it's not a bad album at all, not by a long shot. This is arguably probably the best of the post-Jesper era of In Flames, at least the stuff I've heard. No, I've not listened to Foregone, and no, I won't, fuck that. But given that I went into this album expecting to hate it outright, it at least was able to clear the bar and stick the landing with only minor life-threatening injuries to their pride. But aside from barely clearing the low hanging Fisher-Price bar set by this era, it's honestly mostly just a dull listen, especially the longer it goes on. It starts out strong, I will say, with the title track, but after that, each song just kind of sounds the exact same as the last. 6 tracks in, and I was blanking out to what song we were listening to, while simultaneously worried I'd hit the shuffle button by accident. I mean, I guess I probably should have expected the one-note sound from these guys with this album. I mean, I can't verify this, but if this is 100% true, then it would explain a lot. Apparently, all the songs on this album were written by Bjorn. Just Bjorn. And it sounds like it too. Now, to be clear, that's not a shot against Bjorn. The dude can shred like a motherfucker, but it kind of just goes to the argument of solo versus band, which we've actually touched on in a previous episode of this show. Neither is worse by any stretch of the imagination, but having more ideas from other lives and other experiences, it will help a lot more with creating a more unique sound. So if Bjorn wrote all of them with little input from the rest, then yeah, we're going to get a monotonous blob looking like Homer Simpson from that one Treehouse of Horror episode.
Must eat more fat people. Thank God I'm in America.
It was a smart idea, though, breaking it up with The Attic. It is the most different on this album, and it was honestly a good palate cleanse from the dirt and grime that we've been having since now.
I saw something in the mirror. Someone's watching me. If I hide in the attic, they will never get to me.
But outside of the interlude track, Jester's Door, we go back to normal on Darker Times onward, and that's yet another 5 tracks of the same thing over and over again. That said, the album does have a point towards it by not being objectionably boring. It by no means is the best of all of In Flames. It's still got some good hooks, though, here and there, and the band does know their way around a good heavy riff. Of course, Anders is such a monster behind that microphone. But it's still boring to me. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like I was getting dragged by my ears to the finish line, which I'd argue is a massive point against it. Speaking as a critic, mostly. Look, any critic will tell you, a boring album is more horrendous than a bad album. Whether you love or hate Saint Anger, for example, at least you can never say it was boring. You could sing its praises or tear it limb from limb with ease. But a boring album, it gives you nothing to talk about. I can't write a review about Air Vapor. I mean, I could try, but I'd be given a better headache than listening to Saint Anger again. Like, yeah, okay, I am one of the haters. Fuck that album. Fuck that snare. Fucking fight me. And after listening to a whole 53 minutes of boring, yeah, I'm a little hard-pressed to say that this was worth listening for an essential album. Honestly, this is not really that essential in my books. But what the hell do I know? Apparently, the album was loved by critics, and some do also still enjoy this album as well. Enjoy it enough, in fact, to consider it essential, and then, as a result, request it on this show. So, is this an essential album overall? I mean, I kind of spoiled it a little bit in the beginning, but no, I don't really think so. Not because it's bad. As mentioned, its worst crime is that the songwriting is monotone. But if you're talking about essential Swedish heavy metal, or even essential In Flames, not even fucking close. There's so many others. Like, if you like this album, if you love it even, more power to you. I'm glad you're getting some enjoyment out of this. But come on, this album, essential over The Jester Race, Oracle Colony, Clayman, Reroute to Remain, any of those albums, none of those crossed your mind first? It had to be this one? Like, how? Why? I mean, to be no judgments, but, like, I just don't get you.
You just listened to MRP, the Metal Robot Podcast.